Hey, what's going on, Nashville? Thank you for watching Mic Check today. We have a very important and special guest today. He has an organization called the Aphesis Transitional Housing and Learning Center. His name is Mr. James Settles. How you doing, Mr. Settles?
Doing great.
Thank you for coming down today.
Doing great.
So, Aphesis Transitional Housing and Learning Center is based here in Nashville, right?
Correct.
Okay. We had talked earlier about the name Aphesis. Where does that originate from?
Aphesis is actually a Greek word that means forgiveness.
That's heavy. I mean, that's a heavy name, and you know, it's great, man. I commend you on what you do and your program. And you could tell the viewers a little bit about the program and how you got started in it.
Okay, Aphesis House is actually a transitional learning center for ex-offenders. And what we do is we provide shelter, and everyone that comes to Aphesis House must work a job, so we help them find jobs. We also have a life skill curriculum that we teach that's mandatory for everyone to participate in, and that's critical thinking, anger management, job readiness, and relapse prevention.
Wow.
And
so approximately how many people are enrolled in this program?
we actually, between the 3 facilities that we actually have 28 clients.
Wow. I mean, I imagine that keeps you pretty busy.
Yeah.
So once they come into the program, how long, what's the length of the stay? I mean, is there a certain time that they're eligible to be?
Well, it's initially, you must commit to at least 90 days.
Okay.
And generally what a guy do is when he come to Aphesis House, one of the first things we do is kind of help him get his IDs together, because in order to go to work, you gotta have ID. So we help him get a birth certificate, social security card, and another form of ID so he can go to work. And I believe that that's what's so overwhelming to most men coming from the prison setting.
Okay, what is your background in this? How did you originate this program? And you are the founder?
Correct.
Okay, wow, that's deep. So, I mean, so you actually been in situations that some of these guys have been in.
Right. I myself went to prison back in '86 with a bad drug problem. And I'm the same guy that wasn't gonna work for no minimum wage, but yet I go to prison and stay over 8 calendar years working for 50 cents an hour. So sometimes our thinking can be so screwed up. And I got out of prison back in '93, and I had to go to a halfway house. I went in, you know, to stay 90 days, but I ended up staying 2 years managing the place, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, so in essence, you were a blessing to the halfway house. I mean, not only did it help you get your life on track, but you also probably learned a lot of things as far as the whole transitional process.
Well, when I think about it now, I think about how a lot of times different things that happen in our lives shape our purpose. And I really believe all that happened back then for such a time as now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's how God does his thing. You know, he allows us to go through certain things to build us up for what he has planned for us in the future. And we were discussing earlier about the lifestyle, selling drugs, you know, the cars, the money, this and that. And I always tell these young guys, you know, I don't be trying to tell them what to do and preach to them, nothing like that. But, you know, I always, from what I see, it's all temporary. You know, that lifestyle is temporary. It's going to come to an end. It's going to end either violently or, you know, you end up incarcerated, but and leaving a path of destruction along the way. I mean, especially you have young children, you know, that's affected by, you know, the actions that you do out in the streets, you know. And, but, you know, it's a blessing to have a man such as yourself with your program that they can come to and get their lives back on track. So you say you have 3 facilities in Nashville, right?
Correct. We have 3 here in Nashville, and I also started one in Memphis.
Okay, okay. I mean, how did that come about? Did they contact you, or how does one in this field like branch out to another city? I mean, did they seek you out based
Yeah,
on your success?
yeah, that's true too. But part of the vision for Aphesis House is to do housing throughout Tennessee,
Okay.
and so Memphis just happened to be the first stop.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right. So, do you have like different events to bring like awareness to your program, or how does like inmates when they're about to be released, how do they find you?
Well, one of the things that I generally do is I go to pretty much all the prisons throughout Western Tennessee, and I do presentations because I really don't want people to get it twisted about coming in, because we got a policy that's no sagging and all that other stuff, because one of the things that we strongly believe in is that in order to help people get jobs, we have to go correctly by doing it. And we can't do business the way we always done it, as if we're gonna get some different results. So people have to be willing to change some things.
That's a real statement, because I've heard oftentimes that you can't keep doing the same thing and expect different
Insanity.
results. I mean, you have to switch your game up for the better.
Right.
Because you can't just say, hey, I want to be a movie star, but you're still doing something that's counterproductive to make that a reality.
Right.
Whatever you may want to be, a mechanic or anything. So you definitely have to, change things for the better if you want different results. I mean, it may not be exactly when you want it to be, but it's going to happen if you just stay persistent.
Right.
So some of these guys that's in your program, okay, could you walk me through like a scenario of when, like the day they get released and they enter your program? What is that about? How does that happen?
On the day that